Hey everybody, and welcome back to Let's Play Queenswitch the Conqueror. We are in Thablin, the capital of our future enemy. Unless there actually is some sort of peaceful solution, but I mean, obviously not. Right, oh, hold on, why are my hotkeys not working? Hold on a second. Okay, yep, now they're working. I had to actually restart Steam because it wouldn't launch Queenswitch, and I had the same problem with Avernum 4 the last time I recorded, which is not something that usually happens. I wonder if that has something to do with Steam's recent updates that changed its layout and stuff, or if it's something else. Who knows? Anyway, for some reason my hotkeys were not loaded. Probably because I had to restart, or tried restarting it several times. Anyway, that is completely beside the point. We have Kinzier Owen waiting here, okay. Or not waiting, I don't know. This seems to be the waiting room, though, for supplicants. Treasury and records. Wyvernly Smith. Wyvernly, is that a name? Like an existing name? There is a free vole sitting behind the counter, furiously processing a long line of forms, scrolls, and requests. You have seen your share of bureaucrats, but this one stands out by being efficient. That must be why he's in this building. When you enter, he returns his pen to his inkpot and nods. I was told the Prince of Haven is here. I keep the Masha government and military operating. I don't think I can help you. Envoys are usually met in the main council hall. He thinks, I'm Wyvernly Smith. I don't think that I need to speak with you, but sure. I can't. I received a message from Arahuna Masha. He says the name with great reverence. From Arahuna Masha. She insists on formally greeting you in the main council hall. Fair enough. I wonder if those chests are just there for show, or if there actually is some sort of way. I suppose if we eventually attack and completely ransack this place, we might be able to loot those. Hello? Wait. Thablin Masha? Oh, okay. They're all called Thablin Masha and Thablin guards. Let's see. Oh, that's the exit. Right. High security, military planning. Fair enough. Locked? Okay, fine, I'm gonna go where I'm supposed to go. There is an impeccably dressed man working in this hall. The cheek tattoo marking him as an Owen, clear on his cheek, yes. He is talking to a Masha, finding out what their business is, and arranging when and if they are allowed to enter the deliberation hall to the north. When he sees you, he stops everything and rushes to meet you. He checks one of the many scrolls he carries. You are Prince Atantuo, yes? I'm Kinzier Owen, honored servant of Arahuna Masha. I have been told to watch for you. You are an Owen working in this hall? He is indeed the only Owen here. Yes, it is by the special permission of my master Arahuna Masha, to whom I am self-bonded. I filter out those Masha and envoys who must speak with the whole council. I have a message for you. What do you want? My master, Arahuna Masha, says that she welcomes Haven back to Sacramentum, and she is eager to negotiate with you on behalf of the council. We have things we can offer and things we need. Who is Arahuna Masha? Well, obviously the boss here. Well, all Masha are equal in the council hall. However, some are more eager and honored than others. Arahuna is of great status, and she has been chosen to speak with you with the voice of the Masha. What else should I know? Arahuna Masha is very, very busy. There's a war on after all. She also can't be seen to be overly biased in favor of Haven. This means that she can only give you one audience per day. Please use her time wisely. Okay, I wasn't necessarily planning on returning and having multiple audiences. I'm ready to meet with her. Okay, new quest. Kinzier Owen nods. Please proceed. The doors to the council are unbarred. Don't waste time talking to me. All of the Vol awaits your words. He bows and steps back. Welp, let's see how this goes. This council hall is where all of the wealthiest and most influential Masha come together to make decisions that affect all of the Vol. You watch for a moment as politics take place. They form and reform in clumps of red-faced people and shout constantly. Yep, that's usually how that goes. Then they realize that you have come. Things grow quiet. Dozens of worried eyes focus on you. One woman in particular gets your attention. She watches you alone from behind the northern table. She motions for you to step forward. Okay. Dozens, huh? I guess we'll have to imagine that. Masha counselors, so no one else is important enough for me to talk to. There is one island in all of the chaos of the Marsha's Council Hall. Also, this portrait has been used somewhere before. Where have I seen that before? A Vernum 3 or something? Maybe it's from the Avedon series? Anyway, it looks to be relatively high quality, so it can't be from the older Vernum games. Anyway, whatever. There is one island in all of the chaos of the Marsha's Council Hall. When you entered, most sad, but one woman remained standing. She is tall, thin, and has an expression of calm authority. Her will draws you toward her. You stand on the other side of the polished oak table facing her. She says, "I'm glad you arrived safely. I have some influence here. I am Arahuna Marsha." When you two speak, the hall is quiet. All the other Marshas watch with unnerving intensity. Watch and listen, no doubt. What is your rank? There is a brief muttering from the Marshas. You have broken some obscure protocol. Well, I mean, we can't be expected to know the protocol, so whatever. Arahuna calmly says, "In this chamber there are no ranks, only argument and agreement. However, I have in my years of service earned some small amount of respect. Thus I speak." Okay. Hi, I'm Atantuo. No. I'm Prince Atantuo of Haven. Arahuna nods. Contact has been made. The other Marshas visibly relax. Now discussions can begin. We have an urgent question. Sure, let's get this over with. What is your urgent question? We were a vassal of Haven. We relied on your help to keep order in our land. The Owen often threatened to rise up and stop paying their debts. Haven kept the Marsha safe. After you left, we faced an uprising. I am aware. Now that you have traveled through our land, you understand our situation. We thought we would win this war. It has proved more difficult than we thought. Haven helped the Marsha once. What is your intention now? We have heard rumors that you are very much in favor of the Owen. This is worrying, and we want to give you the chance to clear things up. Oh, I will. Still learning your land? I have no opinions. I mean, I should probably say this. And leave this place and just help the Owen. But it's too tempting. I'm considering helping the Owen be free. Quest advanced. Arahuna is neither surprised nor annoyed. I mean, yeah, they basically knew that before. Of course. Outsiders are often sentimental before they understand our ways. No, I'm sentimental even after understanding your ways. That's the difference. And what we can offer you? Yeah, of course. Money. Well, good luck convincing me. At least we can try to convince you not to make a mistake. You have been gone for a long time, and we need to establish some things. Before we can proceed, we have all agreed on some questions that must be asked. I mean, I was half expecting them to just arrest me on the spot or something, but I guess they are more diplomatic than that. We'll see. Sure, Arahuna, I would like to know more about you. She shakes her head. Some of the Marshas chuckle. In this room, I have no life of my own. I am only a valley. The will of the Vol flows through me. This leaves no room for chat. All right. I don't really want to discuss the morality of the Owen system. I think we've done that at excruciating length at this point. What's your first question? Around 20 years ago, Haven abandoned Sacramentum. You abandoned your vessels, including us. Why? I mean, yes, it was my mother's decision. I don't know her mind, and I was not consulted, I'm pretty sure. So, yeah, that's just what it is. But obviously they know about the calamity, though, right? That's not a secret. Also, it was Haven's will, and we don't need to answer it. I mean, okay, I guess that's probably the stance of Haven, usually. Haven's stance, usually. Although, I personally think that even if they're technically vassals, I mean, I don't know if I agree with this entire system of making vassals out of basically everyone else, be it through war or through, well, more or less peaceful means. But let's leave that out of the discussion for now. But if we're using that system, I think that we should, you know, that our vassals have a right to be involved in major decisions like that. Obviously, in this case was kind of special. I suppose calamities like that probably don't happen all that often. Anyway, a great calamity afflicted us. None of you helped us to withstand that. I mean, I don't know if they could have. Obviously, we have to suspect that one of them, if not all of them, were directly involved in it. So probably not the Vol, though. I mean, who knows? Honestly, they're both true. The calamity afflicted us, and then my mother decided to retreat. And it was not my own personal decision. This is probably going to be considered, you know, to be apologetic. So I'm just going to state the facts. We understand. It was a dark time, yet Haven was so mighty, so wealthy. It is not like you to abandon an entire land, and yet you did. You abandoned us, and we have suffered greatly for this. We have a second question. I mean, I wonder actually. Well, who knows? Maybe there's going to be some kind of story twist where Haven actually caused, or someone from Haven caused that calamity to give Haven a reason to retreat from Sacramentum. Although I guess we could have just done that, right? We didn't. If we can just leave without saying a word, basically, and leave them all to their fates, we didn't have to pretend that there was some huge calamity going on. We could have just left. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. And the second question: suppose we were your vassals again. We give you trade and tribute. We let you meddle in our affairs. We trust you to protect us. How do we know that you won't abandon us again? That's a very good question. I guess we can't do that. We'll stay as long as you make it worth it for us to stay. Haven has returned. We will not leave again. I mean, yeah, well, that doesn't sound particularly convincing. I don't know. When the time comes, that is our decision and ours alone. You know what? Yeah, that's what it is. Oh, yes. We know full well how fickle Haven is. I mean, you know, I'm probably going to try and be a little bit more convincing and a little bit more confident when talking to the rebels. But with these people here, who cares? I've long made up my mind. Oh, yes. We know full well how fickle Haven is. We know that in the end, Haven will look out for Haven. I mean, yeah, isn't that also kind of understandable? It is only our desperation that forces us to talk to you at all. Our land is torn and burning, and this rebellion kills so many, Owen and Masha alike. We can't figure out how to end the disaster, so we turn to you. Shrug. Wow, I feel so bad, but you know what? She looks you in the eye, hunting for some scrap of sympathy. Finally, she ends the hunt. I understand, Prince. You have answered our questions. The truths in your words were hard, but be assured we heard them. I mean, what is there to negotiate at this point? Are you ready? Yes, every moment we delay, more Vol die. Haven has returned to Sacramentum at last, and you have come in force. I mean, not really that much force, though. She slaps the table with her hand. I formally declare a time of negotiation with foreign power. The Masha all nod in unison. You have supported the Owen in the past, but this doesn't have to matter. We only care how you act now. The Masha will free the Owen. I mean, they won't. Okay, apparently negotiation means that I state my demands first. I mean, all of the above, I guess. Although personally, I only care about the third part. Sure. The chamber erupts in shouting. A dozen arguments immediately resume. Then Arahuna raises her hand, and there is instant silence. She says, "The only reason we deal with Haven at all is because of our war. A war to defend the honor and ways of the Vol. We will die to preserve them." Yeah, I'm afraid that's probably what it's going to come down to. And we will not abandon them because you ask. Return when this demand is abandoned. Until then, there is no reason to continue. I agree. All right. I guess we'll meet each other on the battlefield then. I mean, I would like to prevent that, but it's obviously not an option, so why should I even, prolong this pointless discussion any longer. Right, well, with that, we've done what we came here to do, I suppose. I wonder how these quests are going to be advanced then. I mean, I went to the fortress and talked to them, so I hope that's enough to advance that. Taking root on the wall. Oh, right, of course, cross and keep. Wait, Chief Gervin wants us to establish better relations with the bull. Yeah, well, I mean, yes, again, I've done that, so technically I should be able to return to Gervin, and that should advance the quest. Oh yeah, also, actually, the other thing that I meant to mention earlier, I just, you know, I had a hunch that finding that card that we are looking for that one quest could possibly not be as straightforward as I thought. I mean, we did see those cards right there, but it didn't look like either one of them, well, maybe one of them was the one we're looking for. However, yeah, anyway, I just looked it up where that is, and it turns out that it's in the Flint Pit, all the way down here, and I'm pretty sure I would never have even considered looking there. But apparently that warlord who used to reside there must have taken it for some reason, and that's where we're supposed to find it. So yeah, I'm really glad I looked that up, because again, I don't think I would have ever considered looking that far away from Thablan Pass. Yeah, I don't know. I suppose if we had, you know, done that quest much sooner, gotten that quest much sooner, it would have been possible to just, you know, stumble upon the card later, but since I already dealt with basically that entire region, that was not going to happen. Haven report, again. Losses from theft and the Vol. Not a whole lot, though. Thankfully, we get our 1 iron, at least. Okay. Yeah, slowly but surely we're getting some more iron back. Because I definitely want to reclaim our next fortress and build another smithy there to see what that unlocks for us. You find the nest of a pack of hunting lizards. Among the gruesome trophies of their hunts, you find an assortment of coins and other precious tradable goods. This mess is actually a bit too gory for you to pick through yourself. You're royalty, after all. You make a note to send out some guards to collect the loot. Oh. Okay, I suppose the game still gives us that money right away. What is this? Judgment halls. Oh. Okay. Well, I should probably make a beeline for the fortress first and foremost. Am I on the right way? Yes. Oh, yes. The road is actually... Well, if this is the main road... What is this? Nothing? Hello? You find a small group of Masha guards. They are far from the safety of Thablan and understandably nervous. They greet you and give you a space by their fire. They warn you that there is a band of own rebels just across the river. Yes, we've been told. And they have been placed here to keep watch. They explain that the land technically belongs to Haven, and their orders are not to chase Owen into it. You thank them for the information and move on. I mean, again, they should have just ignored that. Yeah, they could have easily just ignored that, so long as we weren't in the area. But, well, years of war have left the farmers farther from the city in a condition of perpetual panic. As soon as you come within sight, they vanish into their crops. Okay. As usual. Okay. You see a cloud of dust in the distance. You try to stealthily maneuver forward and see what is going on. There is a chase. A band of Masha soldiers are chasing Owen rebels across the sandy soil, leaving a cloud of dust as they run. The Owen are rapidly running out of energy. The Masha will catch them soon. I mean, at this point we might as well help the Owen. You charge forward, rushing the Masha on their flank. They are completely surprised. Seeing that they have unexpected assistance, the Owen turn and fight. I was going to come to this sooner or later anyway. Roll controllers, okay. And a bunch of enemies. How tough are they? 14. Wait, is that our level? No, they are actually higher level than we are. Alright, okay. Their level might still somehow be based on our party level, but at least it's not like enemies always level with us. Not always match our level exactly. Thanks for buffing us. It's appreciated. I think we should have no trouble doing this. Right in the middle. Not bad. And you're going to... You really can't do terribly much, unfortunately. So I'm going to have you walk forward and just shoot the next best person, buffing yourself. You know what? Why don't we just double that blessing? Okay, not ideal. I was hoping for them to stay a little bit, well, to advance a little bit more, you know, grouped together. I guess we can do this. These archers, oh, they have significantly less health. Some of them do. Oh, the defender, okay, that's the defender who is standing there with the archers for some reason. Well, War Priest. Ah, okay. Should maybe try and focus on that one. Like so. That should help. Ooh, a critical. I think we should easily survive, though. Not a fan of that stun, needless to say. Yeah, that cannot be dispelled as far as I know. But we can heal you. Our allies are doing just fine. Okay, sure, I guess we'll just keep doing this. I could do this. Yeah, sorry, friend. Oh, wait, we didn't even hit you? I guess he evaded. Oh, well, that guy should die. I guess, wait. Can they poison us? There's too much combat text going on for me to be able to tell, but... What? Did they both evade? Well, I don't know. Again, too much combat text. But it's fine. We're obviously winning. Okay, that guy should also be dead. She was poisoned by someone, but I guess it could have been one of the enemies. Yeah, I mean, really didn't need to poison those guys again. But I haven't even gotten a turn, obviously, or else I would have already died. Okay, there they go. Alrighty. The Owen are enormously grateful for your help, understandably. Thanks, we thought they had us for sure. They head back toward their base, assuring you that their leaders will learn how you helped. Alright. Well, I guess that was the first time we officially fought the Masha. The first of many, no doubt. Right, there's that place. What is this? There is a band of Vol loyalists camped on the side of the river, keeping watch over the other side. Their arms and armor are of high quality. After all, they fight for the Masha, who are all wealthy. There is a matching pack of scruffy rebels on the other side, well-armed... what? On the other side. Well-armed loyalists? What? Scruffy rebels on the other side, well-armed loyalists? Is this... I think this is probably just, I don't know, some kind of typo. The two forces constantly shout taunts at each other. The loyalists are bored with the inactivity and eager for a fight. Can we not just attack their flank? I suppose technically we could, but I mean, I don't know if I really want to. Should want to do that. I guess we might as well talk to these people right now. They should know that we're friendly with them, right? There is a band of Owen raiders here. They are very bold to be so close to Thablin. Then again, they are also very close to the Old Haven fort to the south. When you come close, they grab their weapons and guard their stone barricade. Their leader says, "I'm Rior, and this is free land." I mean, not technically. "What do you want, Havenite?" "I want to know more about you?" "Well, we are free Owen, and we want all the others to be free too. This was Haven's land, but we're claiming it now. Stay back." "Shouldn't you have permission to settle on our land?" "Then you should give us permission to use it. You abandoned it before we were born, and we're in our rights to grab it. We're in the right." I mean, not technically. Of course, this is an issue that has nothing to do with the rebellion or the Civil War. "I want to talk about you being here." Rior nods. "You're from Haven, eh? Well, we're fighting for freedom here. The Masha won't attack us when we're on this land because they don't want to anger Haven. They think this is your land, even if it's not. We need to watch the enemy from here, and we're not going." You know what? Sure, stay here. I mean, I really don't like your attitude, but I also don't want to offend the rebel leaders. And they would probably hear of this, so... I mean, they would definitely hear of this. So, sure. You can stay here. Rior is shocked. She isn't sure how anything could ever improve. Really? This is good news. We fight for freedom. The Masha will never stop until we are all slaves. I hope you remember that our cause is true and just. You depart, and they return to watching their enemy. Well, that is that, I suppose. I guess I should probably return to Thablin and talk to that lady. And tell her the bad news. You're close to the ruins of Crossing Keep, one of Haven's 7 outposts on Sacramentum. The fort spans a river, providing a safe port for merchant ships. This was once a major center of trade and thus gold for Haven. Now this ruin is ready to be rebuilt, sending its gold where it should be sent, to you. Happily, General Aquila has already paved the way. You see the fires of Haven soldiers on the north side of the fort. The Vol signed a treaty giving this land to Haven. Your mother's ships have dropped off soldiers, workers, and materials. All they need is the command to get to work. Again, they should have really started working the moment they got here. But, you know, you approach a band of workers, some Haven, some Vol, who are camped outside Crossing Keep. And they are waiting for the order to begin work. They tell you to go to the middle of camp and talk to Chief Gansky. Is this the middle of camp? Apparently. You meet someone. You approach this camp. There is a bunch of Haven workers sitting by the fire, fanning themselves to keep cool. The moist breeze from the ocean doesn't give much relief from the Vol heat. When you get close, a young Havenite leaps to her feet. She is vibrating with energy. She runs forward and kneels at the same time, skidding to a stop in the dust in front of you. She says, "I'm Chief Lisa Gansky. We're ready to work. Give the order, and we will rebuild Crossing Keep." Okay, I appreciate your eagerness. How did you get here? General Aquila had a boat drop us here. We sailed by Thablin. The Masha waved at us and we went by. They like Haven. I need you to tell us if we like them back. I need you to tell us if we like them back. Yeah, no, unfortunately. What will the Vol think of us rebuilding this fort? Depends on which Vol you ask. The Owen are scared that we'll crush the rebellion and make them all slaves again. The Mashas want us to win their war for them. She shrugs. You make the hard decisions. I just follow orders. Yeah. Well, I give the order. Get to work. Chief Gansky turns and starts shouting. The order is given. Move into the fort. We sleep under a roof tonight. The sweaty soldiers and craftsfolk rise to their feet with a cheer. Then they flood into Crossing Keep. You can now collect resources from mines you control in this region. You can now recruit vol characters in your forts. Well, I mean, we were able to do that before. When you rebuild 2 forts in a country, the theft chance there goes up by 20%. Yeah. That's unfortunate, but we'll see. I don't think I have enough resources, especially iron, to build fortifications to reduce that. But, you know, that's okay. Who are you exactly? Are you our people? I suppose. Well, let's quickly check out the surroundings to the extent that we can. Alright, we cannot actually... Oh, okay. Well, that's interesting. I wasn't aware of that. I suppose... Well, I mean, according to the map, the road could be passing by the keep, but that's not actually the case. I mean, that's a pretty strategically important location that we built this fort on. I'm surprised the Vol ever agreed to that. Well, I suppose while it wasn't claimed, people could just have traveled through. Now that we have reclaimed it, it's going to be a little bit more difficult if they're not our friends. I don't assume there's going to be anything of importance, or anyone of importance, about town before we actually start rebuilding or doing anything. A bunch of soldiers here. Well, you know what? Going to use these open areas again, first and foremost, because they're the most convenient. I'm actually glad that they included these and didn't make every single building its own thing, you know, thereby allowing easier access to shops like smithies. It's going to be another 2 iron upkeep. Current earnings 12. Yeah, I mean, so we have 3 iron to spend basically to use for upkeep. It's not great, but it's something. Hey, blacksmith. Do we have anything to sell? No, we didn't actually do much fighting or exploring. But we should have access to some new things. Steel spear? No, still the same spear, unfortunately. Okay, so no upgrade there. Swords we're not interested in. Armor though? Maybe? Steel breastplate. No, still the same thing. Wait. Steel chainmail? I think this one wasn't available before. We had iron chainmail before, but not the steel chainmail. It only absorbs 60% damage, but it does have better better armor, less stun resist, but also less speed penalty, and 2 augment slots. Yeah, so last time when I upgraded our equipment, I was considering skipping the steel breastplate and going for the steel chainmail as soon as it got available, but I didn't know that, I don't know, I wasn't sure how quickly we would get access to it, and also, you know, it's not quite as protective. I don't know how much difference that makes. The absorbs 60% damage versus absorbs 70. Speed penalty, I don't know. I guess it would be nice to not have such a high speed penalty, but I guess this is the heavier armor. And if we're not using a shield, it's probably a good idea to wear the heaviest armor that we can. Alright, 20% speed penalty is also the highest it goes up to, thankfully. Well, anyway, yeah, that doesn't really help us then. She has the iron scale armor, so technically I could upgrade her to this. Yeah, that's obviously just a straight up upgrade. Money is a little bit tight still, though. Maybe I should go ahead and claim a couple more things before we do that. Helmets. Oh, okay, so the next better helmet is available. It's slightly better. Yeah, very slightly better. This one, of course. Oh yeah, well, this one is so much better. 30% versus 20. Wait. Oh no, we already absorbed 30. Okay, never mind. But it does have a third slot, which is obviously huge. Especially for helmets, because we can put offensive runes in there, like ones that improve our damage by 4, a whopping 4 points. You know what? Maybe this one extra smithy didn't make that big of a difference. I was kind of hoping for the next spear, the halberd to unlock, but I suppose we'll need yet another smithy for that one. I'm gonna think more about. Well, yeah, we could definitely buy the steel chainmail for her, but you know, it's half of my money right now, so I'm gonna hold off on that until we have a little bit more money to spend. Right now, I'm just going to go ahead and actually officially claim this fortress. John Elvard. Porty, Rufus. Why are there so many people here to talk to? And where's... Oh, there's Chief Gansky, alright. Do we have some sort of scholar here? Yeah, a sage. Wow, okay, there are a lot of people to talk to here. Also some things to read. Treaty of Vassalage between Haven and the Wall. Well, we know that one. Notes on decay. Queen Sharon III is wise. She is a pillar of justice among the rulers of Haven. Thus I can write these notes without terror. This has not always been true. Haven is small, our soldiers are few. If a vessel truly does not want us here, want us there, we can always be driven out. Thus we have to find a group that will protect us and keep us there in return for what we give them. What we promise to give them. But that promise can never be kept, because there will always be another monarch. Maybe one cruel or inept or insane. Then our promises are broken, but we're dead, so we don't see it. The people of the vassal, they feel it. Their opinions were never asked. Yeah, well, that's pretty cold, but effective, I guess. The sage of Crossing Keep is sitting at her desk, sorting through the piles of records. Most of the scrolls are old records that have been crumbling in these shelves for 40 years. She mutters, "Why is Gansky making me deal with this mess? It should all be burned." Then she sees you. "Oh, Prince Atantuo. My apologies. I'm Sage Alaya. Welcome to the fort. I hope it's all right." Well, I mean, as all right as you could expect, I suppose. What is your job here? The Sage. Letters, records, battalion history. I take care of all that. Nothing important enough to bother you. Have any leads on useful information? Hidden treasures? Really? You're asking if any of these trash scrolls are say where a treasure is? It happens sometimes. Well, no luck. I'm sure there are mighty artifacts out there, but I don't know where. My only treasure is wisdom. I study history. I'm working on a theory for how Haven works. Oh, was that book from you there? On decay? What theory could that be? Her face falls. She suspects that she's made a mistake telling you. I've been researching. I'm working on an idea. The theory of inevitable decay. What is the theory of inevitable decay? She's nervous. Oh, it's a challenging idea and very undeveloped. Not worth wasting your time. I promise you that it's fine. Elia sighs, trapped. It is just an idea. About Haven and its vassals. Is that, well, that when a nation becomes our vassal, no matter how good things go, we bring ruin to it eventually. Well, what sort of ruin does Haven bring? It varies, of course. War, starvation, poverty, chaos. Some think, well, not me, but some say our supporting the Masha for so many years kept the Owen system going until war was the only way to resolve it. Yeah, well, we've heard something along those lines. It seems like a dangerous idea. I mean, yeah, I don't want to, threaten her or anything. That is why I'm working on it. I want to develop the idea until it's not dangerous anymore. Why does the ruin happen? Sometimes Haven gets a king or queen who is mad or cruel. Not Queen Sharon, of course, but, history. Even if the king or queen is good, they can put a bad governor in charge, or they can make a big mistake or enact a bad policy. Because they're dumb or don't care. Yeah, I suppose that happens. With wisdom and careful management, the ruin doesn't have to happen. But that's impossible. Humans make mistakes. If being perfect is the only way to make a system work, it's a bad system. She remembers who she's talking to. I mean, some people say that, not me. Right. It's an interesting theory, although, I mean, I don't know if it's necessarily true that the system is bound to fail. I mean, if there is an inept or uncaring leader, sure, of course, any system would or could fail under those circumstances. But if they're at least somewhat competent, does it still need to fail? I'm not convinced, but it could be. Whoever, whatever. It's an interesting theory, for sure. I don't know if it's true, but it's interesting. Thank you, Prince. Of course, it's just a theory, and I don't believe it. Please, don't tell the Queen about it. I'll get back to work now. Okay. It's not easy being the prince, everyone always being mortally afraid. Inside this fort, this dilapidated trading hall is getting some attention. The broken windows have been replaced. 2 vaults, an old man and a young woman, repair cracked floor tiles. At the counter, an old, bald Havenite is carefully painting a small sign to go on the door. They are so involved in their work that they have not noticed you. Leave them be, or announce my presence in the most pompous way? Sure. It is I, Prince Atantuo. The Vol remain focused on their work, but the old man stops painting and looks up. His eyes squint, and he steps closer to make sure the insignia on your chest is real. A good day to you, Prince Atantuo. He bows. Forgive my not kneeling. My knees are a bit touchy. I'm John Elvord, Haven's Way Agent, fresh out of retirement. Okay, a Way Agent? Haven's Way Agent? What are you painting? He shows you the sign. It reads, Haven's Way. In debt, inquire further within. He says, clearly I was no painter before I retired, but it'll do. It means this hall will be the Haven's Way Vol Outreach Office. Okay, I have several questions, but who are they? Point to the Vol. Alvord smiles proudly. That is Rufus and his oldest daughter, Porty. His workshop burnt during a skirmish at the start of the Civil War. He was left heavily indebted, trying to rebuild. Enough for 2 lines on his cheek. He and his children were to be Owen. Unfortunate. But there is a happy ending. Rufus was about to turn himself over to the local Masha when he happened upon me. We came to a mutually beneficial agreement. He paid off his debt with our coin. His debt with our coin, and Haven has a skilled local craftsman to help us rebuild at a heavily discounted and fixed rate for only 10 years. I mean, that's... Okay, I guess it's slightly better than making him an Owen, but it's... You know, well, all right. What is a Vol Outreach Office? We buy the debt of poor Vol, so no Masha can turn them into Owen. At your raised eyebrow, he swiftly adds, it's called indentured service. Yeah, they work only for us. They work only for us for a variable length of time, depending on their debt load. Usually around 10 years. We even provide a small fixed income. Then they are free. Again, it's moderately better than outright ownership. I mean, I guess it's a lot better, but, you know, still kind of morally questionable. What do you think of the Owen system? Officially, Haven's Way doesn't have opinions about such matters. Unofficially, people work hardest when it is for their own benefit. Yes. Well, I definitely believe that. Forced lifetime servitude across generations, besides leading to grotesque abuses, is contrary to maximizing returns and efficiencies. I suppose that's one way to look at it. Their system should have been abolished or heavily reformed. Well, I hope that's going to happen. What do the Masha think of your efforts? Honestly, I hope they do not know. I suspect they would not approve. We are competing with them, and our way is superior since it benefits Haven with skilled workers and indebted Vol since they don't become Owen. What? It benefits Haven with skilled workers and indebted Vol since they don't become Owen, yes. Fortunately, I know the Masha. Their honor will forbid them from asking us directly about this. If you stay silent too, I can continue recruiting Vol at favorable terms. Do you ever buy Owen? No, his shock was genuine. The Queen made it clear we are forbidden to buy Owen. I obey. Unless her representative here, you, my prince, decides otherwise. I mean, start buying Owen and set them free immediately? We could do that, but... I mean... You know... Start buying Owen? Keep them as Owen? No. I mean, for now, I really don't think we need to start doing that. Obviously, just buying them and setting them free is gonna, you know, that just means that we go bankrupt in no time flat, and I suppose to the benefit of the Owen, of the few Owen that we can afford to buy, but that's not any kind of long-term solution. Obviously, we're working on something a bit more, you know, long-lasting. So right now, maintain the Queen's policy. A wise and prudent choice. Our way is superior. Eventually, it will cut off their supply of Owen. The Masha will be forced to change. You stop listening to the flood of words before it ruins the warm feelings you got from making a prudent choice. Eventually, he stops talking and excuses himself to finish painting the door. So was that a one-time thing? I'm back? Okay, that was only the only time we could make that choice. Interesting. I mean, but still, siding with the Owen and overthrowing the entire Masha and Owen system should have the same effect, right? Obviously, that must end with all Owens being set free, except that we don't pay a lot of money for nothing. So I think it was the better choice. I hope the game sees it that way. Anyway, tell me more about your retirement. Do we really need to know? Sure, whatever. For over 3 decades, I served the Haven's Way Society, traveling the world to spread the Haven ideal of progress and prosperity through trade. We recruit locals to advance Haven interests and educate them of our ways. Sometimes we use them to make money to fund our good works. When I heard we are re-establishing our colony here, I decided to unretire and return. Return? I was born in the Vol. My mother was an administrator for this region until the calamity drove us away. I even met our queen in the glory of her youth when she toured the Vol. I know the Vol, their deep sense of honor and work ethic. I knew this would be a great opportunity for the Haven's Way Society. I very much wanted to spend my last productive years back here, so Haven's Way bid the Queen for me to be included in the first wave. You bid to be here? Yes, he just said that. The Sacramentum expedition had few open berths for private concerns. The berths were put up as a sort of auction of petitioners. A team of us made a lengthy presentation to the court and offered a hearty payment of gold. The Queen liked what she saw and sent 3 of us. Some people paid to come here? Standard Haven practice. Getting to a vessel state early can result in great profit. Merchants know this, and they fill Haven's coffers for certain privileges. Don't worry, Haven's Way has a plan to earn all we paid back, and then some. You weren't actually worried. No, can't say that I was. 3 of us? Yes, 1 in each nation. My focus is to recruit simple, skilled locals, stoneworkers mainly, but also carpenters, weavers, smiths, and so on. He waves at the Vol repairing the floor. Okay. I guess now we know all about that. These Vol are expertly repairing some old cracked floor tiles. You leave them alone. Okay, game. I guess I do. Well, you know, might as well finish up with talking to Chief Gansky here. You find Chief Lisa Gansky. Since you met her outside, she has settled into an old desk, cleared away the trash, and gotten to work. She leaps to her feet when you approach. I hope the work is proceeding to your liking, Prince. I'm ready to give my formal report. I'll accept your report. All right. We found that the Masha left our land alone while we were gone. We have cleared the bulk of the scorpions who settle here, and restoring the fort and cropland is proceeding well. The fighting between the Owen and Masha has not come close to our claims. I think they both want to avoid angering us. The situation is very touchy. How are things touchy? Both the Owen and the Masha want Haven to help them win the war. If any of them suspect that we want to side with their enemies, I'm afraid they will attack us and burn Cross and keep to the ground. That's why I must sadly make some requests. In my role as chief, I mean. And what can I do for you? My private counsel is that the Vol will not be a good vassal as long as this war continues. However, the two opposing forces are in a stalemate. Applying the force of the South Battalion may be necessary to forge a good vessel here. Also, if you ever have time, there is a small matter I will need a ruling on. Right. Well, first of all, how did you end up here? Her face lights up. I was serving as a chief in a more settled land, and I heard rumors of a big secret project. Hush hush, high status. I asked around, and I learned what was going on. Sacramento, the dream. I made a pain of myself, and I was chosen for this mission. All right. Tell me about your past service. She tells you. It's a lot of posts, a lot of difficult situations, and a lot of success. You can see why she was chosen for this mission. Who chose you to come out here? Let me guess, the Queen. Yes, of course. The Queen! She chose the chiefs and officers who came to the Vol herself. You met my mother? Yes, can you believe it? I was given my orders by her personally, from her own hand. She has a lot of interest in the Vol. It's always been Haven's most profitable vessel on Sacramento, and she wanted it looked after. Anyway, that is my story. I hope my experience is suitable for your needs. Sure. How are things with the Vol? The Masha and Owen stare at each other, and we're right in the middle. You will find both sides very touchy, afraid, quick to anger, also desperate for your help. You'll probably be offered a lot of quality bribes. And this reminds me, there is a bit of policy that needs to be settled on. I don't have the rank for it. Any thoughts on dealings between the Masha and the Owen? Well, when I learned I was coming here, I read a ton of reports by chiefs and officers who served here. It was enlightening. And what did you learn? They all expected the Owen to rebel. Every one of them. The Masha have been getting greedier for generations. Fewer Masha, all richer and softer. More and more Owen, all angrier. It was only Haven's help that kept the rebellion from happening. Then the calamity happened, we left, and... She shakes her head. Alright, okay, so what guidance do you need? When the rebellion started, lots of Owen ran away. Many to fight, but a lot of them just wanted to be free. A lot of the refugees have come here. I need to know whether to let them live on our land or not. If we do, there will be some expense. We don't have the spare gold to buy provisions, but we can trade stone. Well, we have all the stone in the universe, so that's not a problem. What have you been doing before now? We've been letting them stay. We didn't want to start hunting refugees. However, there really are a lot of them. More all the time. We will have to trade stone for food to keep order and keep them from starving. Well, what are your thoughts? Putting aside that letting them stay will cost precious gold, if we let them stay, it may anger the Masha. Kicking them out will infuriate the Owen. Well, I mean, in that case, it's clear. Also, obviously, there's only one right decision here. It all depends on which side you want to please. You see, I'm sure why I couldn't make the decision. Right. Well, I sympathize with the Owen. Trade stone for food and give them refuge on our land. Also, I mean, it's the right thing to do, independently of who we want to side with. Understood. The Owen will be very pleased. Our soldiers and quartermaster less so. I will make sure that they don't interfere with Haven's business. Thank you, Prince. I'm glad to get this settled. Yes, me too. So, how are you doing getting resources? Cillian is a cunning trader, and she's doing well getting wood, stone, all that sort of thing. Haven't met that person yet, but maybe we will. There are plenty of surviving colonies and farms around who appreciate Haven's business. There is one disappointment, though. We thought Conlin's Pit would be happy to see us return. They aren't. What is Conlin's Pit? A Haven community. Havenites who bought and operated a quarry before the calamity. They are still there. We thought they'd be happy to see us return. Instead, they turned my messengers away without a word. So there are still Havenites there? Yes, they're still there. They've been surviving all these years, trading with the Vol. We thought they'd be happy to see us return. Instead, they turn... Yes, I know. What do you want from them? Stone, I suppose. Of course. They're Havenites, and Haven is back. They're under my protection now, and they have to pay the taxes all Havenites do. Someone has to go out there and get them to obey our laws. I'll try to visit them and see what is happening. Yes. I appreciate it, Prince. I'm sure a brief visit from royalty will awe them into submission. Well, we'll see. Okay. Conlin's Pit. Anything else? Well, apparently there is some other person to talk to. Scroll of Mercy. Right, you have a couple of those. keep that in reserve for now. Well, okay. I think I'm going to call it an episode here. Apparently there's some sort of merchant here, or quartermaster, that we haven't met yet, but there's a little bit left of this fortress to explore. Well, I mean, not much exploration, but just a matter of walking there and probably finding that person, which we're gonna do next time. And then, well, we'll see. I guess we've had this Macklin Quarry quest for some time now, and we have this new quest of Conlin's Pit. It doesn't sound like that's gonna involve any fighting, but I guess we'll see. Either way, I think I'm going to move in an eastward direction next time and see what there is to see. As always, I thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and I shall see you real soon. Bye-bye!